Okay, today I'm going to show you how to make a small clay head. And traditionally, clay portraits are called busts. Usually that includes the shoulders and a little bit of the torso, but for us we're just going to add the neck and the head. This is one that I made. It's not fired yet, so it's greenware, which means it's just dried clay. You can see the difference in the color between the wet clay and the dried clay. So I'm going to set this guy to the side. You can see him. I'll set him right over here. And we'll start from the beginning. Each one of you is going to get a block of clay. The first thing that you need to do is just tear off a little bit for extra. We're going to use this to make the neck. Then you want to divide your clay equally, or as equal as you can, so you get two pieces that are about the same size. Then you're going to take each piece and make a round clay sphere. It's just like making a snowball. With your hands, you're going to use your hands to form the clay into that ball, and the natural shape of your hands will help make your clay a nice round shape. The way we're going to make this is we're going to make two pinch pots and put them together like an egg so that our head that we're making is hollow. If we were just to have a thick chunk of clay after it dried, even though it would be dry, if I were to fire it, it would explode because there might be air trapped in those really thick parts of the clay. So our heads will be hollow. When you have your clay rounded, then you want to smooth out any sort of little lines or cracks that you have, so you've made a nice ball of clay. Then, to make a pinch pot, what you're going to do is you're going to take your thumb and push it down into your clay, not all the way through, just almost to the other side. And then it's called a pinch pot because you're going to use your fingers and your thumb and pinch your clay as you're turning it with your other hand. If you've ever used a wheel, if you've done wheel throwing ceramics, the wheel turns the clay for you. But when we're doing this is hand building, we have to turn the clay with our hands. So as I was pinching, I moved from the bottom all the way up to the top, and so I'm pinching and turning to try to make the walls of the pinch pot an even thickness. So when I'm done, the walls of my pinch pot shouldn't be any thicker than my finger. And that looks pretty good. So I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to make my second pinch pot. So I'm using my hands to make this into a rounded form, and I want to make sure to smooth out all of those little extra lines like this. And then I'm going to use my thumb and push all the way down but not through. I'm going to pinch around the bottom first and then move my way up towards the edge. Oop, there's a big spot I should smooth. When you're pinching, it's important to be thinking about the thickness of the walls. If you feel a part that's thinner than the rest, don't pinch as hard there, and then your walls will be stronger. If you have parts that are thinner, then those parts are going to end up weaker. And when we add our eyes and our nose, it'll be harder for you if you have weaker, thinner walls. All right. So now I've made my two pinch pots. Let's check and see. They're about equal. This one looks maybe a little bit bigger or thicker, but that should be okay. When I put them together, I should be able to move the clay around so you can't tell that one might be a little bigger than the other.